I hired a virtual assistant to help me get my time back, and I spent a year making sure she could not do her job without me. My husband and I, we have a real estate media providing business. I handled bookings, I handled operations, and I went out on jobs to take photos. It gets a little stressful when you get busier on jobs to be able to cover all of that. So I needed someone to help me get my time back to focus on jobs and to take the operations piece away from me. I was told, invest in your new hire, meaning spend more time than you think or are prepared to. It can get a little hectic because I'm still doing my tasks, running all operations, driving out to jobs, handling photo jobs, all while training someone new until I was able to give her the task and fully unload the operations to her. So I showed her the ropes in operations, how I speak to clients. I gave her scenarios, and I even provided a flow chart of if someone asked this, here's how we respond, here's the booking process, and there's the details on that. The process for software, gave her the details on that. My calendar, gave her all the access. While I thought it was going well, without realizing it, I would find myself getting kind of frustrated because throughout my day, I would get a message from her asking, hey, am I good to book this person for this time slot? Hey, this agent is asking for this. All things that I showed her how to respond to, how to answer, how to resolve. Let me give you a realistic version of what actually happened. That's what I thought was happening. What really happened? A message would come in, and when I found a free 2 minutes, I thought I was being helpful in jumping in and answering quickly when it was her job to do. So I was not staying in my own lane. I was stepping in thinking I was helping her, and instead what that did was create a virtual assistant who was constantly in stuck mode. I was training her to ask me. I didn't realize me jumping in could be received through her point of view as, oh, she'd rather handle it her way. I must be doing something wrong on my end, which is not what I intended at all. When I finally reached a point of frustration, I had to take a step back and really assess, okay, what are the patterns? What do we need to address? And in doing that, instead of having a call where we went over these things, we had a call where I had to apologize to her first in the beginning and to say, I realize I have been doing your job and making you feel like I don't trust you with the job I hired you for. We were able to have an open conversation, and I was able to ask her, what do you need from me? What can I do? How do I give you your independence and your confidence back? We went through a lot of things in that call. She asked me for specific scenarios to give her very clear guidelines for, which made me realize we didn't do that either. And in me handling and jumping in, I was making it blurrier and blurrier for her. I spent the next couple of weeks biting my tongue and fighting every urge to not take control, because that's what I realized I was doing. I was being a control freak, and I learned that I have trust problems and I needed to fully trust her with my calendar, with my schedule, with my business, with my clients. And that's what I hired her for. I spent a couple weeks letting her do that, staying in my own lane, trying to focus on only my jobs when I drive out, which is what the goal was. We reconvened a little bit later. Robert and I were going out of state for vacation for a whole week, and I was able to do a follow-up. Do you have any other questions for me before this week comes up that we're not here? Is there anything else you need from me? I gave her some more scenarios for when we were gone. Again, very clear guidelines on what to do. And she's amazing. She takes notes on everything. She makes sure she handles stuff. And she actually thanked me for the couple of weeks that I zipped my lip and did my time. And in her being able to independently handle everything and problem solve her own, she gained confidence for us to be away. And while we were away, she was even more a rock star. It was very limited, the things she asked us I didn't ever think I'd find myself in a place admitting something like this out loud. However, I felt compelled to. One, because I had a vision when we started a business. I wanted our business to not just be let's hire out and let's leverage and let's have people help us. I wanted to build an environment just from my past and having worked other jobs, working in other small businesses, where I just wanted to create an environment where anyone who comes into our business, I want to build them up so much. I want them to see that they have so much more potential than they thought they had when they came to us. And if that meant they grew so much that they were ready to leave us and fly on their own and do something bigger, that would be amazing. I would feel pretty fulfilled in that. And having an environment for them to be able to realize and grow in to do something like that. I'm sure there are other business owners who feel the same way. I'm sure there are other people who have hired a virtual assistant, who have hired someone else on their team, and they may be wondering why they're in stuck mode too, because I'm hoping I wasn't the only one to make this mistake. And to which I would implore you, when you find yourself getting frustrated or wondering what else you can do to make operations run more smoothly, ask yourself, did you give them a system to operate in, or did you give them a job title and expected them to figure it out all on their own without any clear definition? And I'm so happy that even if it took me a whole year, I was able to get that situated, apologize for it, and help her get on a clearer journey with us and do the work, even if it's a year late. Your hire and your business deserve it.